Good evening. It's really lovely to be here with all of you. Thank you. I am so terribly moved by your commitment, each and every one of you. Your Excellency, your shoulder to the wheel for your entire life is an inspiration to me. Journalists, I was married to one of you. I know the cost. And I mean that with compassion and dignity and care. What we do when we commit to a life on the road is we agree to be a witness. There's that phrase, can I get a witness? And for those of us who agree to see, to really see others in their plight, being a witness is more than others really understand. We come home changed. We come home never the same. In all the places I've been, from war zones to refugee camps to efforts around the world to make a difference, I've run into quite a few of you, and I can say that with deep and abiding gratitude. I would also like to extend my profound condolences for your loss. I feel it with you. The cost of being present is never small. The cost of the truth is never small. And in these struggles, in this effort to bring awareness and integrity, decency, and honor back to those who want to judge without information, we encounter greed, narcissism, and many other things that fall short of the understanding of the cost of what it takes to really see and report and respond. In these travels, there are always the moments that, like a snapshot tattooed on our heart, we return with what I call the constant traveler. That person, that moment, that flash of an instant that will forever be engraved on our hearts. I often think of a little boy I met in a refugee camp in northern Uganda. I was standing watching some of the women burn blades of grass over a fire made around rocks in an effort to create something I couldn't quite understand. Food, warmth. And I felt someone looking at me. And I turned around and there was a little boy wearing a tragically ragged little shirt that said, "Kiss me, I'm Irish." Well, being Irish, I wondered where that shirt came from. How many people had touched that shirt before it ended up in this refugee camp on this little boy of indeterminate age? Because of course he was growth delayed and starving, and he seemed to be somewhere between 3 and 7. But the way he looked at me seemed to be somewhere between ageless and death. And I know you understand. Because I know you all carry those constant travelers with you. There is a great cost to trying to bring home the truth. There is a great cost to standing in your integrity. There is a tremendous cost to being your best. And it's written on the faces of each and every one of you. I need a facelift. But I want you to know that when I see your faces, I feel nothing but respect. Nothing but love. Because I know that the warriors you are the only thing that has ever helped me get front and center and make changes that this world needs. We talk a lot about equality and what it means to bring human rights front and center. We say the words human rights continually and constantly. But what do we really mean when we say human rights? We start dividing who is human and who gets those rights. What men, what women, what children, and what rights. That means nothing unless we stop dividing up and parsing them out. Until every woman has bodily autonomy exactly the same as every man, there is no human right. Why, indeed, should a man have different rights than a woman over her body? What man would stand for a woman telling him what to do with his body? Why, indeed, should we tell children to be afraid to be who they are? It has been such a joy for me to raise my 3 children, my 3 adopted children, as a single mother. When I was 14 years old, I knew I wanted to be an adoptive parent. I didn't think I ever really wanted to be married. But I thought I had to. That's why I married one of you. Of course, I didn't know the cost of war, the cost of what it takes, and the damage that that would bring. Not until I too walked that path. We may not always be fit to partner, but we certainly are fit to lead. Because we know what the global world really, truly looks like. And these children all over the world need parents. And they need parents like us, illuminated, enlightened, educated parents. Every child deserves a parent. And every man, woman, and child deserves their human rights. I'd like to thank you so much for trusting me with this honor and for believing that my view and my experience of the world deserves to stand here. I trust in you, I follow your lead, and I am incredibly grateful to be a part of this body of humans. Thank you so much.
Just one correction from that speech. Sharon Stone does not need a facelift. Secretary General, welcome you back on stage, please. The Secretary General of the United Nations. And it's time to award Sharon Stone this year's Global Citizen of the Year Award for 2023. Congratulations to you. Please welcome back the UNCA Advocate of the Year, Sophia Carson.